And we are live. Hi. Hello, everyone. Hi, Sovik. Hi, Kevin.
Hello.
Hola.
How are you feeling today?
Warm.
Hola. It's very warm in Ireland. Yeah, that's true. How is the weather in Poland, Sovik?
Fortunately, not that heat today. That warm. We have early autumn right now.
Early
Well,
autumn. Well, it is.
yeah.
It is time to start the autumn. To be honest, is that time of the year?
Yes.
So today we are going to talk about ContextCapture Editor. So how to create topographical outputs from drone survey. This is really interesting topic because ContextCapture Editor is not that very well known. For some reason, it's kind of like a hidden. It's a hidden.
Hidden feature.
It's a hidden product altogether in our bundle. So it's part of ContextCapture. So ContextCapture comes with ContextCapture Editor, although they are different software packages, but they come in the same bundle. And everyone that works with ContextCapture, like, they love ContextCapture Editor, right? So big, like you've had a few situations where customers like Dakota, for example, send us really positive feedback about ContextCapture Editor. So the talk today is about because last 2 weeks ago we were talking about creating that engineering grade 3D model, and today we want to talk about how what can you get out of that 3D model and how to consume those 3D models. So we split this in a few different topics. Today is going to be about terrain modeling and topographical outputs, and then there will be some other about CAD. Is it drawing and CAD?
Drawing, modeling.
So that was. Yeah, that will be the next one. So that was the most voted one in the poll that we launched last week. So I'll keep on sharing this during the event today. In 2 weeks' time, we will cover that topic. So ContextCapture Editor for CAD drawing and modeling. Okay, you have the QR code will take you to a free trial. If you want to test ContextCapture and or ContextCapture Editor, you can access to that website and then fill in your data, and we will get in touch with you, and we can we'll be very happy to provide you with an evaluation license or a live demo if necessary. The team here will look after you. So I think that is enough for introductions. Kevin, you want to maybe start talking a little bit more into, what ContextCapture Editor brings on the table? Why are we actually talking about it today?
Okay, so welcome to the Tech Talk. We're going to focus on producing topographical outputs from a drone survey by utilizing ContextCapture Editor. And as Lisa said, the editor is it's basically the CAD component of ContextCapture. So anyone that's been to any one of our kind of webinars know that we kind of provide a full end-to-end solution for surveying workflows, from 3D model creation to post-processing to delivery. Obviously, we're fairly adamant that surveying with a drone offers enormous potential to so many different industries. So, let's say for topographical surveys, you can pretty much match the quality of highly accurate traditional methods, but in a fraction of the time. I think it's quoted to be 5 times faster. And obviously, drones with a PPK, it means that in certain situations you can avoid, putting down ground control points, which is nice considering some of these areas can be quite dangerous or hard to reach. So obviously this reduces the cost of a site survey, and less boots on ground means it's safer too. So the workflow that we're going to demonstrate here can be used for like loads of different uses. It can be land surveying. Obviously, it can generate highly accurate maps of hard to reach areas, out of date areas. The same output can be used for land development, like matching it to the original blueprints to see if work is moving on according to specifications. And also, this type of survey is fairly easy repeatable. So it means you can detect changes in earth movement and measure its velocity. And this type of data can be used to predict landslides or potential damage to roads, railways, and bridges, or stuff like that. One important point would be that this is all part of our photogrammetry solution, Context Capture. There isn't a bunch of add-ons for, like, you don't have to purchase something for modeling or drawing or visualization. So we strive to give you the ability to respond to a wide variety of business requirements. And you're going to see that kind of after, and I guess we should jump over to Swavic. You're going to start things off with ground extraction, which basically automatically creates a classified point cloud based on geometry. It's a pretty unique approach and has plenty of refinements that you can do. So you'll see again, the topic here is we give you a lot of choice and a lot of variety. So Swavic, do you want to go first?
Exactly. Okay. So as Kevin mentioned, our ContextCapture Editor is it's basically and the most importantly based on MicroStation engine. So we have to keep in mind that together with ContextCapture, we are actually getting MicroStation based CAD solution, which is one of or actually most powerful CAD existing right now on the market. When we are considering possibility to consume and process point clouds, reality meshes, scalable terrain models, rasters, and different CAD files without any data loss, or also efficiently in one file, then already here we are on the top.
And sorry, I wanted to also add something, because I think from the use case of I remember Dakota, we will share after the call, but I remember that was one of his the things that he mentioned is that you can work, it's a seamless workflow, and the platform offers so much in terms of like advanced CAD drawing tools to work with your 3D models. So I think that is, I would like to make a lot of emphasis on that, because rather than using multiple platforms, it's like you are working on the same environment. It's one of the best, as you were mentioning, Swabic, CAD engines. So like it is, it's all how to say, advantages, right?
Yes,
for your
the possibility to kind of work between the branches within one software. Because we have your colleague, okay, let's say today's Tech Talk has a big focus on surveyors, drone operators. We are talking here about this branch. But what is the great and the most important thing? Those surveyors are not working alone. They can actually provide the data, which can be fully used in a different branch, like by their colleagues, architects or plumbers, designers, whatever they will just need, and everything can be done in the same environment here. So let me just maybe start, because as Kevin mentioned, we would like to start with some extraction. So the first thing is to gather the data. So we already have, let's say, top quality mesh. And then on many cases, also actually our competitors, that's the end of the road for them. But in our case, we are able to load it already here natively. This is our native format 3MX. And then now we can process and work on it just like on the point cloud. So we are able to model on that, we can produce it. And one of the features which is existing here is also automatic ground extraction tool, where we are able to specify some conditions for the algorithm. So we have to just specify the largest infrastructure size on our let's say terrain. Of course, the terrain variation, we just have to specify how big buildings are, because this algorithm is based mostly on geometry, on some, let's say, geometrical analysis. While we are doing this, of course, ending the processing, this process will save few different formats for which has been processed out of the reality mesh. And one of them will be, first of all, and that will be obligatory always, will be a point cloud. Okay, but it's not a regular one. It's created on reality mesh, and what is important, this point cloud will be classified. So as you may see, I will just change maybe the background color here to dark. We have two classes. One of them will be a ground class. And that's the one.
So sorry, because I got lost in there. So just for a very ignorant wannabe user, so you created a 3D model in ContextCapture with a 3MX format, which is the native format, the native Bentley format. Then you imported that into ContextCapture Editor, and what is like? Did you create a point cloud automatically? How did you do that, or how that happened?
So this point cloud can be extracted out of the reality mesh, because it's actually reality mesh can be also treated as tie points. You know, it's, every phase of this mesh is actually built out of some points. And some of them are on the ground, some of them are not. Here we can see, I can just filter out right now that during this classification, algorithm is looking for the lowest point on the particular area. Of course, that's in this case, it's just showing while looking from the top view, it's showing a grid onto the terrain and looking for the lowest point in the grid size. So, and then fitting the rest of the points. We are getting two classes here, the created one and the ground one. And also what is important, this ground class is also a base for creating a scalable terrain model, one of the type of the formats I mentioned before. So if I will just turn off right now point cloud and layers, open scalable terrain model, and maybe change the appearance, then we can see that we actually got not only, maybe I will raise the lighting here, so you can see the brightness. We are getting a terrain model without building, but you can also see that it's a texture. And this is one of the options we are able to do here. We can use any texture we will just use from the raster. So that is important. If we will use, let's say, we'll create orthophoto out of the reality mesh, like from this one. That's actually, that was the source of this texture. Then we have photos, but we can actually, instead of this, we can use, for example, elevation colors from our point cloud. And that will be also a raster, which can be draped on our scalable terrain model. So yeah.
What type of refinement can you, like what type of customization can you perform on this? Is it a simple, you just do the algorithm, the equation, it just pops it out? Or like, can you get down into the nitty gritty and really start to refine features?
Yes, there's a lot of option to refine it, to change the appearance actually. So maybe if I will close up a little bit here, you can see that actually in this case, in this example, maybe it's possible for you to see we have a curbstone here. Yeah. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yep.
And actually such things can be created on the break lines, how they are called. So I will turn off. We can use them as a construction lines, and in a proper tool, we are able to add them to our existing terrain mesh.
So could you obviously, can you keep adding on layers to this? Could you add in another point cloud or more geometries and just keep stacking and stacking?
Exactly. Actually, we are able to get point cloud from one source, let's say from drone. Then we got some maybe classified point cloud from different source. Maybe there is already some classification. We are loading those two here. Then we are adding some breaklines because we know there is some passage. We would like to get this also information added. There is even possibility to add existing terrain models. So we are stacking those here, then generating the model again. We are getting information if it's up to date or not. In this case, it's coming from February, so it's already processed. But so we also get information. That's important. We are not losing the track here.
Yeah, it kind of goes into what I said at the start, being able to respond to nearly any business requirement.
Yeah.
So if the client has specific needs, we can address them. And the fact that, I don't think you mentioned that, we accept nearly 7 times the amount of formats versus competitors, which is always good.
Yes, because we have customers working with so many different platforms, and that are most of the times will come from the end customers. My end customer uses this whatever format, so therefore I need that format on my workflow.
Exactly.
I have a question, sorry, Swabik, before we move on. What type of drone was used for taking these photos? Do you remember the drone that was? This is the Exxon office, is it?
Yes, and
I'll check that information because we
can
should
find
we would
have.
have to check it, but it was
Yeah.
not. It was not the highest shelf. It was the medium shelf drone. And
I'll check.
and I'm sure that
check
phase
that
one was
information,
not
yeah.
released yet.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was not a phase one.
It's okay. I'll check the details after the live and reply to the comment if that's okay. What was the method for taking the photos? I think it was I think it's a DJI drone with an off-the-shelf camera, but I'll check that for you, Sam, and get back to you.
And in case of the method here, this here was on only oblique pictures. So
yeah,
actually we have also some additional picture which I didn't involve in this project, just to have it a little bit smaller and for many different purposes actually. But if I know that there are also orbiting pictures around the buildings, they can be always added to refine the quality of the buildings, which is already pretty high.
Yeah.
If we are talking about the roofs, but actually those orbiting pictures will also improve a little bit the walls and, let's say, the areas under the roof.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
On the terrain modeling, wasn't it the DTMs and DSMs that Dakota was using to extract slope measurements?
Yeah, that was the same actually situation when they got already really great example of dataset. They were already thinking, okay, we have to produce some contour lines, but we don't want to do it manually. Then I just came with the training, which is important. We were able to deliver a training session in Virtuosity, which is included with licensing. And we were able to create automatically a contour map like here. Maybe I will show it like here. We are able to create a contour map, get labels automatically. Everything will be based on the scalable terrain. So, of course, it's calculated. Then after breaking this to the normal element, so this type of element right now is a line string, you're able to treat it as a normal line. So cut it, as you see here, I just cut it to the frames. I decided maybe I will cut some to the road here. So everything will depend on the operator here. What
Can
you would like to
you
do.
Edit much in this? Because I remember some products is just, again, I'm going to keep asking this. What else can you do with it? Can you edit labels or styles, or because some companies have their own profiles and certain style guides, that they want for an output.
Yes. You have a full possibility here on changing the labels, for example, changing the text styles, changing the dimension in style. So if you have any standards you have to follow, then that's another problem. You will just change everything here in the settings. Also, if you will have a problem to find those settings, then you always can request the training. And also we have really great architects on our team. So let's say I can always help with the geometry stuff. They will help you with the standards and customization.
So I was gonna ask that because Dakota, for example, Dakota Campbell is geospatial analyst, I think. So his background is very strong. So I think training him on this was not the learning curve for him was very, very easy. But I imagine that for some drone operators who are maybe getting into the CAD world because of their end customers, or that they have less, a less strong background in this, that might be a bit overwhelming to see. To get into ContextCapture Editor might be like, oh, where do I even start? So we do. Before I let you move on, Sobik, we do have every bundle comes with training, dedicated training, tailored training for our customers. So any bundle that we provide with ContextCapture comes with dedicated training.
Exactly.
So that will make sure that Sovik,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and what is also important actually, and what changed the most from the version 4 AI to version Connect is not only that we right now use the 64 bits infrastructure, but the most important, we have search ribbon. So if you are a newbie and you want to move something, then you just have to type it here, and you will get a possibility to move it. Just use the search ribbon each time you will need anything. So that's the biggest improvement, actually.
Also, the entire ribbon is customizable. So if you have a certain workflow you always use, you can just set it up. That's quite nice.
Exactly.
That's quite nice indeed.
That's a powerful thing just to know.
Sorry, guys, I got a question here. How can transform this modeling to map 2D or 3D in ArcGIS, if that makes sense? And what is the name of the app you use for that project? Well, the name of the app we are showing at the moment is ContextCapture Editor. That comes with ContextCapture, and it uses the same engine as MicroStation. So it's one of the most powerful in the cache markers, as Sobik mentioned before. I don't know how can transform this model to map 2D or 3D in ArcGIS. Can you show that quickly?
Actually, right now I'm wondering, because right now I am just opening export file data. And you can look through the list of the format you can actually export. As far as I know, ArcGIS is already importing DXF or DWG data. I'm pretty sure it was, but
it should.
Let's say it should. But also, what is possible, we are able to export it. Maybe PDF. It's not the thing here, but actually, even OBJ or SketchUp, which are pretty universal one. But in the case of exporting, you have plenty of option to just choose one of them. In case you would like to get know more, just also contact us, because that's
we have another question. I just logged in and was curious on the curve collection. Were these automated or how are they collected? We have trouble with getting the defined 3D dimension to the curves with drone imagery. Point clouds are less defined with the points unsmoothed.
In such case, what about the curve collection? And we are able to let's say, automatically extract them, but that would be rather orbit feature extraction software in this case, and
but you can
rather mobile data.
The ones that you are showing, that you were showing before, you did like you did create them in ContextCapture Editor. Could you quickly show that?
Yes, that's in this case, it's another that a big problem actually. As you see, what I'm doing when I'm scrolling in, I'm also getting the higher detail on the detail, let's say on the terrain. And right now I am able to start creating lines, or just by snapping to the proper points. So as you may see, I'm able to just draw on the mesh like here. That's one of the way. Other way, if you are working on more linear objects, so let's say like on roads, then what is important, we have full option for sections here. So I will just show one quick section. Maybe give it half meter, and each time you just need maybe a road profile or any kind of information you would like to get. You just need 1, 2, and actually 3 to just zoom in, and you are getting full information about the profile here on the section. See, so that could be also helping.
If you had a highly detailed mesh, like I wonder if you can snap to it, I wonder how quickly it is to model off the mesh versus a point cloud then, if you have the smart snapping.
Let's say that it's helping a lot in case of such curves, for example, because you can just go around and snap, and also it's quicker. It's working faster than point cloud in case of moving around, rotating.
It's lighter as well, right?
It's lighter, yes. Also,
well, and also the visualization is much more intuitive, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
having
Yes.
the 3D model versus the point cloud. There is
exactly.
yeah.
The biggest difference is that this is continuous mathematical representation. So, in opposite to the point cloud, when you have one point here and another one here, you always can or misclick this one and click one behind. Here on the reality mesh, it's impossible to be done because we have continuous surface. So we are not. If you are clicking here, you see maybe if I will use a line, you will see that I'm snapping here to this part of the surface. It will be highlighted. So that's the first thing. You can draw just by vectorizating those, or you can use still sections if you would like to be more accurate and just be sure. You always can use it for checking the quality. And at the end, what is also a great example here, that's the roof example, which I will show. Maybe that we'll tackle it in next week, but also
in the next one, yeah,
you to do this kind of modeling also, because then you can approximate the surfaces on the existing reality mesh, while on point cloud you had rather to cut everything to change the view, the cutting section.
Would you use that for, like, if you're replacing solar panels? You could do that to calculate areas for proper
without
placement.
a problem. Actually, that would be really quick to be done. Let's say that we need just to get some surface here. Actually, we are able to, I could right now click here, 1, 2, 3 points, and you see now I'm perfectly aligned with this roof here. I'm able to start and getting some annotation. That's the first thing. I'm able to get area, or maybe I have library, because we have library here called cells, and in front of those cells.
I think we should leave that for the advanced for the next. So in the next tech talk, which is in 2 weeks, because we're doing these live series every 2 weeks, we will cover the more advanced drawing tools, and that's the example with the roof so big, which I think we show already. Is really interesting, but I think we should cover that in the advance because there is a lot to it. Will we? Sorry, there is another question coming. Are you able to change the contour interval parameters and edit the contours?
Yes, of course. That's possible.
Okay.
Just wondering, it's the Scalar model here.
We should have counted how many outputs we got from one drone survey. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Let me just turn off here, and here. So you can see here I'm getting calculated features, contours. Right now they are not treated as lines. They are a part and display style of the terrain model. And right here I'm able to change the interval. So just by finding the proper setting, here I am able to change, for example, major interval to 2 meters. That will be automatically calculated here. Actually, no, I will show you something better.
He's going rogue again.
No, because I prepared something special for you.
He loves going like you are in your element. Like
the sky's the limit.
I mean, the sky's the limit. I took you today to our Polish Tatra mountains.
The sky is the limit. There we go.
The sky is the limit. So what you can see right here, in this case, because what is important, we are not only working on drone data here. In this case, I took some already existing point cloud from open source data. As you may see, it's also classified, and we are able to use our ground extraction first to get a classification, and then to create scalable terrain model out of the classified point cloud directly. So let me just show right here. That's the scalable terrain model, and that's the triangles we can create. And right now I'm gonna change it, or maybe I will go to the top view. I already extracted some contours. We are able to get them from the area we would like to, or if we would like to have everything, then we always can display them. So that's let's say this example look much better because it's it has much more details actually to be seen. Oh, can you see right now?
So, Vic, a quick question we got: can we get volume calculations too?
Yeah.
Yes. There is a. First of all, we can do them really quickly in the ContextCapture, only in ContextCapture.
Yeah.
Actually, we can send the file to the customer and show in ContextCapture viewer, and the customer can do it for his own. That's a good thing because then he is responsible for this survey and calculation. And we have a volume calculation module here in Analyze tab. It's a volume calculation. So we can, for
also
example,
do the mesh v mesh volumetric comparisons as well.
Yeah.
Which would be nice if you're doing it over a period of time, the same site. Again, more stuff to talk about.
Yes.
So yeah, so so we are getting into 30 minutes live. So is there any other topics, Kevin or Sobek, that you want to cover before we
I'm going to save it for the next one. Definitely.
Yeah, because I think
this is only 10% of power.
Yeah.
We can see.
We're getting really good feedback, but I think the next session will cover more advanced topics, and we will be focusing on the CAD drawing features. So that will be in 2 weeks from now. In the meantime, you can, if you scan the QR code on the screen, that will take you to our website, and you can get in touch with us for a live demo or for a trial license. And anyways, we will share the use case from Dakota Campbell, which actually covers is a demo that we did, a webinar that we did a few months ago with him, and he explained the workflow that he actually went over to that for that specific use case. So that's very interesting. I'll share that after the event. Is there anything else, Sobek, Kevin?
No, enough gone rogue. Got to read all swap again.
I'm just playing here around to just show the possibilities. So
okay. I think it was a good introduction to ContextCapture Editor. Thank you so much, Sobek. As always, your technical expertise is definitely I think highly appreciated by everyone. Kevin, thank you so much for joining today. I will be sharing the information that we mentioned, and I'll be seeing you guys in 2 weeks from now.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Have a good week. Bye.